Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. So for those of you which watched my stream yesterday, you already have this very important information, and this video is only for the people which, due to several reasons they don't have the time to watch streams. So hang on to your seats and pay attention to this very important topic. And this topic is, what will happen if I was to take heroes out from my match, heroes like Striker, heroes like Shinji. Let's put also Lila into this list. So heroes with Indestructible buff. Now granted, we still are to get the new level 100 units, but it's still worth to have a look. Today's opponent, which is Mr. Escandor, and that is the setup which I would like to test with you guys, or to show you the difference. So let's have a look. He has a Brunhild level 7, then he has a Striker level 7 and a Gypsy level 7. I indeed also have a Striker level 7, but I'm using Brunhild 5 and I'm using Asuka level 5. But this is not the point here, that I'm using a level 5 Brunhild versus his level 7 Brunhild. This is not quite the point. So let's first have a look at the stats and to see the difference. So there we go here. This is kind of pretty much balanced. So the battle will be kind of who procs as soon as possible. Now, when you look at this hero setup, a lot of you guys think, okay, this is a glass cannon damage setup. But is it? So let's have a look what happens. Let's start the battle animation. But we are actually not going to use the battle animations itself. We're actually going to use a super awesome tool which they gave us a while ago, which is this power changes. And there you go. So I am the red line and my opponent is the blue line. So first of all, my glass cannon build, which I'm expecting extremely high damage. Have a look at the blue line. How much units have I taken down in the first round? And because of the fact that I'm not using Striker or Gypsy for the Indestructible buff, have a look what happens to my units already in round 1. So I'm going from my maximum march all the way down in the first round. So that is super crazy. Let's have another example and keep those on the screen in order to compare it with a good setup. So that was just that result you saw on the screen. Let's have a look at the second try. Why not? Let's have a look, and we go directly again in replay, but we're gonna go here. And what you're seeing here, it's already very devastating. So you see how many units I'm actually losing already in the first round. I'm going down to 120 units left, while he is still around like 200, around 200 units. So this is exactly what happened here. Now let me put a normal battle report. Now let me show you a solid battle configuration for this case. Let's see those graphics, and then I'm going to explain you exactly what happened. So now let me present you the conservative setup and let's explain exactly. That's how you see me using again Striker. Now of course Shinji will work too, so it's the same kind of hero. Let's go into the battle animation and see the power changes. So what do you see here? I'm the red line, here's the blue line. The only issue will be, when is my hero gonna proc, from which slots, how many units are on those slots. So now let's keep these two graphics on the screen and let me explain you exactly the major point right here. So let's take this round by round and explain exactly what happened. So in the first round, you see him losing way more units than me, which means, in other words, that my defense was very solid, and also on top that my hero slightly proc from better position or slightly proc more than his heroes. So at the end of the round 1, you see me still at around 210 units, while he's down to something like 160 units. Now let's have a look at the round 2, which is a very solid round. In other words, it's a very balanced round, so where we were kind of equal, lucky or unlucky on the hero procs. So round 2 ends with me being at around 140 units and him being at around 120 units maybe. Now let's have a look at the third round, which is the round in which we both don't have the Indestructible anymore. And this is the round in which I slightly made the difference. Now please take in consideration that in the round 3 we have way less units, while we lost them during round 1 and round 2. So now let's highlight the difference between these two setups, which is also, in other words, we are discussing about the HP versus the Indestructible buff. So the setup on the left side of the screen kind of sounds like you're gonna do a lot of damage, and yes, you will do, but yeah, sadly not in PvP. In PvE, yes, for sure. So when you're attacking the world boss, when you're attacking the druid or whatever, sand table, that's indeed a great setup because the bosses in PvE don't hit you that hard. But in PvP, please do not ignore this fact that the higher the damage your opponent can do on your units, that means the less damage you will be able to do with your next slot. So anyways, beautiful people, I hope this is yet again a very informative and it is a very important video. Do not forget to support a fantastic channel and do not forget to see me in the next episode.